Hey everyone, it's Miss Joyce. Today we'll be multiplying whole numbers using the standard algorithm. Let's start by multiplying 35 by 25. We're first going to line these factors up vertically, which means one on top of the other. We're going to be first multiplying this 5 in the ones place by 35 on top. So we'll start by multiplying by the ones place. 5 times 5 is 25. So we'll place the 5 in the ones place and regroup the 2 to the tens place. Now we can multiply the 5 times the 3 since it's in the tens place. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 2 we regrouped is 17. So we'll place the 7 in the tens place and regroup the 1 to the hundreds place. Since there are no hundreds, we can bring that 1 down to the hundreds place in our answer. So 35 times 5 is 175. Now we're going to multiply 35 times 20 since the 2 is in the tens place. We can cross off the numbers that we regrouped at the top since we've already added them. We don't need to use them again. So we're going to be multiplying 35 times 2 in the tens place. Since the 2 is in the tens place, we're going to place a 0 down here in the bottom in the ones place, so our answer is going to start in the tens place. So we're going to multiply 2 times 5, which is 10. So we'll put a 0 in the tens place, regroup the 1 all the way to the top of the digit that we're going to be multiplying by next. So now we'll multiply 2 times 3, which is 6, plus the 1 we regrouped, making it 7. Now we can go ahead and cross off the number on the top that we already used when we regrouped and add these two products together to get our final product. So we got 175 by multiplying 35 times 5, and we got 700 by multiplying 35 times 20. Let's start by adding 5 plus 0, which is 5. In the tens place, 7 plus 0 is 7. In the hundreds place, 1 plus 7 is 8. So our answer is 875. Let's try another problem. Here we have 325 times 14. We're going to first line these factors up vertically, which means one on top of the other. We're going to start by multiplying 325 times the 4 in the ones place. So we'll first multiply 4 times 5, which is 20. So we'll put a 0 in the ones place and regroup the 2 to the tens place. Now we can multiply 4 times 2 since the 2 is in the tens place. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 2 we regrouped is 10. So we'll place a 0 in the tens place and regroup the 1 to the hundreds place. Now we can multiply 4 times 3 since the 3 is in the hundreds place. 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 1 we regrouped is 13. So we'll place a 3 in the hundreds place and a 1 in the thousands place. We can cross off the numbers at the top that we've regrouped because we've already used them. We're now going to multiply 325 times the 1 in the tens place. Since the 1 is in the tens place, it's really like we're multiplying 325 times 10. We're going to place a 0 in the ones place in the bottom so that our answer starts in the tens place. Now we can multiply 1 times 5 since the 5 is in the ones place. 1 times 5 is 5. Next we can multiply 1 times 2 since the 2 is in the tens place. 1 times 2 is 2. Finally, we can multiply 1 times 3 since the 3 is in the hundreds place. 1 times 3 is 3. Lastly, we can add these two products together to get our final product. We got 1,300 by multiplying 325 times 4. We got 3,250 by multiplying 325 times 10 since the 1 is in the tens place. Let's start by adding the ones place. 0 plus 0 is 0. In the tens place, 0 plus 5 is 5. In the hundreds place, 3 plus 2 is 5. And in the thousands place, 1 plus 3 is 4. So our final answer is 4,550. Let's try one more problem. Here we have 325 times 214. We're first going to line these numbers up vertically, which means one on top of the other. We're first going to multiply 325 times 4. So let's start by multiplying 4 times 5, which is 20. So we'll place the 0 in the ones place and regroup the 2 to the tens place. Now we can multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, plus the 2 we regrouped, which is 10. So we'll place a 0 in the tens place and regroup the 1 to the hundreds place. Now we'll multiply 4 times 3, which is 12, plus the 1 we regrouped, which is 13. So we'll place a 3 in the hundredths place and a 1 in the thousands place since there's no thousands in our first factor. We can cross out the numbers that we regrouped at the top since we've already used them. Next, we'll be multiplying 325 times the 1 in the tens place. Since the 1 is in the tens place, we're going to place a 0 in the ones place in our answer. We are going to be using the same pattern where we multiply by the ones, the tens, then the hundreds. So let's multiply first 1 times 5 since the 5 is in the ones place. 1 times 5 is 5. Next, we'll multiply 1 times 2 since the 2 is in the tens place. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we can multiply 1 times 3 since the 3 is in the hundreds place. 1 times 3 is 3. Now we're going to be multiplying the top factor, 325, times the 2 in the hundreds place. So we'll be following the same pattern where we're going to multiply 2 times the ones place, then the tens place, then the hundreds place. Since the 2 is in the hundreds place, we are going to place a 0 in our answer in the ones place and in the tens place so that our answer will start in the hundreds place, since it's really like we're multiplying 325 times 200. So first we'll multiply 2 times 5 since the 5 is in the ones place. 2 times 5 is 10, so we'll place a 0 down at the bottom in the hundreds place, and we're going to regroup the 1 atop the next digit we're going to multiply. So since we're going to be multiplying 2 times 2 next, the 1 went above the 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 we regrouped is 5. So the 5 is going to go down here in the thousands. Now we can multiply 2 times 3, which is 6. So we'll place the 6 down here in our product. So 325 times 200 is 65,000. Now we can add all these products together. First, we're going to add the ones place. All these zeros added up is 0. In the tens place, 0 plus 5 plus 0 is 5. In the hundreds place, 3 plus 2 plus 0 is 5. In the thousands place, 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9. And in the 10,000s place, nothing plus 6 is 6. So our final answer, or product, is 69,550.